Hey, everybody. Happy Sunday. Good to see you on Weather Extra. I feel very bright today. This is great. I feel all lit up. Not bright as in smart, but bright as in lighting. It's great. So, let's talk. I got a lot to talk about this morning, so much so that we started Weather Extra a little early this morning at 8:06 a.m., which is a little early. We usually start about 8:15. So, if the usual crowd starts to trickle in the next 10 minutes, I understand why. I was really excited to start Weather Extra today. I don't know why. I was really excited. A lot to talk about because everybody's talking about the oppressive heat and humidity that is in the forecast for this week. Let's just put the pause button down for just a second on this. So the month of July has featured hot and humid conditions all month long. And if the forecast plays out and Thursday can be 90 degrees, it's going to be really close. Let me just make sure I have the right day. Thursday is the 31st, right? There are 31 days in July, right? Yes. So if we hit 90 on Thursday, we're going to hit 90 all the days up until that point. But if we hit 90 on Thursday, which is the day in question for the rest of the month, that would mean 30 out of 31 days, every single day but one at the Huntsville airport was 90 degrees plus. So we never got a break this month. With that said, we forecasting temperatures this week. Right now, we don't even have in the forecast the hottest temperature of summer. That was 98 in June. We don't have a 98 on that forecast anymore. Drop the temperatures back a little bit. Still going to be wicked humid and uncomfortable for Monday and Tuesday after an uncomfortable day today too. But is it like off the charts excessive? Is it like over the top like we've never had that happen before? No, we're not even going to break records. It's not even that hot. So right now, speaking of hot, for 8 o'clock in the morning standards, 80 degree temperatures is pretty significant. And we have a few locations already in the 80s. And if you're not in the 80s, you will be soon. And it's very humid outside. This pattern does not change. We always focus on the high temperatures being 90 plus. I just talked about 30 of 31 days in Huntsville could easily be 90 plus. The nights, that's like the most ridiculous part of the forecast is we've been like 70 or higher every night. Multiple records have been set this month for the nighttime lows, not so much the daytime highs. There's like no relief at night. The relief may come this afternoon in the form of an isolated shower or thunderstorm. We had a few try to make it north yesterday. I talked about on air on Saturday morning how they would struggle and the coverage would be minimal and more areas stay dry than get wet. That likely will be the case again today. Temperatures will be more of the headline. Mid-90s feels like 105. And because of the hot temperatures, a heat advisory has been issued for our area, at least part of it. This graphic shows 107. I think that might be a little cray-cray, but more like 105 looks good. Either way, if you know the difference between 107 and 106 and 105 when you walk outside, you are better than I am. Heat advisory, I know there's some counties left out, and I don't mean to be disrespectful at all to the National Weather Service. They are hitting the criteria with this, and there has to be a cutoff point somewhere, and they do a fantastic job. But Jackson, DeKalb County, and Franklin County in Tennessee, you are going to be hot and humid. I say this every time. And if you live right on the county line of Jackson and Madison, and you're on the Jackson side, it's not like Mother Nature's going to be like, okay, Madison County, you're 105, Jackson County, you're 104, and therefore we are good to go. It doesn't work that way. Everyone's going to be hot and everyone's going to be humid. Bill Beck, I can't believe I'm saying this. We need rain. Bill Beck. Bill, you asked me, by the way, last week. You said, are we going to break record high temperatures? I'm sticking to my story, and I'm not going to change it. This used to be a song. I don't know. I kind of messed that up. But anyway, we're not going to break records. It's not going to be that hot. It's going to be hot. It's not going to be that hot. But speaking of rainfall, I got something for you, my friend. Wait till you see the 10-day. I'm going to pop it up in a second because there's big changes coming, huge, coming on that 10-day forecast. Denise, did you just say the S word? Shame on you, Denise. And I like you so much, too. No, if you like snow, you like snow. It's okay. Good morning, Jeff. She says she's ready for snow. La, 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 la. I don't hear that. I'm not a fan of snow, but that's okay. I get where you're going, Denise. I get where you're going. Vacation Valerie, what's up? Good morning, Jeff. To everyone, stay cool and hydrated and be safe. Dave says good morning again. Yeah, I'm everywhere, Dave. I'm streaming. I'm on air. I'm online, and I'm trying to be everywhere. But yep, I appreciate you saying hi. I'm a little jealous you got your lawn mowed yesterday, my friend. I should have mowed mine yesterday. 3-day forecast. 48 first alert weather days, 3 of them in a row. Bang, bang, bang. We probably could have popped one up for today, too. I mean, today is going to be like a degree less than tomorrow, but it goes back to the whole criteria thing. But nonetheless, a stray storm Monday or Tuesday could provide some relief that you may get that nobody else will. It'll be really localized. 96, 97 means 106, 109. And then on Wednesday, tricky part of forecast for Wednesday. Wednesday is like flip a coin. If those storms on Wednesday pop in the morning, we're not hitting 94. If they hold off until late in the day, we go 99. It could be like that. I mean, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but I'm trying to tell you at home, whatever time those storms pop on Wednesday will play a big part in where the high temperatures end up. If you miss out on the storms during the day, you'll be hotter. If your storms start a little bit earlier in the day, you'll be not as hot. I'm not going to say cooler because 93 and 94 is still hot. And notice the overnight lows, the mid-70s. That's just gross. So if you're tired of the heat and the humidity, there is change coming. And Bill Beck wanted some rainfall. We got some rain. Let me pull this up. Boom. So as we go to the end of the week, the chance for rain, it's what it is. It's a frontal boundary that's going to spark the showers and storms Wednesday and bring some change. It's not like the air mass is really cold or cool or whatever. There's just going to be more clouds and rainfall. And it looks like each and every day could have locally heavy rainfall, with some of the forecast models spitting out about 2 to 3.5 inches of rain by the end of next weekend. And it's widespread rain. It's not like those little local downpours where I talk about them on air and half of you are like, I didn't get any rain. It's going to be like more chances get rainfall, more opportunities get rainfall for the area, for everybody. It's an equal opportunity kind of rain situation. But what that will do, it will keep your temperatures down. If you have clouds and rainfall, what do you not have? Sun. So what happens is you can't warm up and you stay in the 80s. And if that holds true, it could be a big time pattern change for cooler air, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be outside enjoying it, because you're going to have to dodge and weave through raindrops each and every day. Some of the rain's going to be heavy at times. In fact, next Sunday, some of the forecast models actually have us in the upper 70s. I don't think that's going to happen, but some of them do. And that's because it's just banking on rain, cooled air all day long and just not warming up. So pattern change, yes, but not glamorous, if that makes any sense. Like, yeah, we're going to cool off, but it's not like you're going to be able to go outside, hang out, enjoy it, because you're probably going to be wet. Now, a lot of you are really excited about the rainfall, which is great. Others of you are like, okay, I've had enough of the rain. I can't pick it out. You decide where you're at with that. I know I've had enough rain at my house. I'm good, but I can't stop it. I have a pickleball forecast I showed today. Playing a little pickleball, a little golf, outdoors. I say this all the time. You know your own strength in the heat and humidity. If it's too much for you, don't do it. Stay inside. It's all common sense stuff. If you do go outside and you want to be outdoors in the summertime, good for you. Just drink some water. Stay hydrated. Light colored clothing. Be smart about it. If you start to feel uncomfortable, take a break. All common sense stuff. That's what heat is all about. Check on the pets. Check on the elderly. Make sure that you know your own body. If 95 and humid or 96 and humid bothers you, I wouldn't go play pickleball like I'm going to go do today. I feel confident. I feel good. I'm going to play pickleball if I can find somebody to play with. But I think that for the most part, it all comes down to how it feels for you. And I mean that all seriously too. Like, for everybody, the heat affects everybody differently. Some people, the cold air affects differently. When I have a sharp cold front come through, I have horrible arthritis in my knees, right? My knees hurt, and I know it's going to affect me more than most people. So it's just kind of how it works out. Stanley Nelson. Hello. Good morning to you. Thank you for stopping by for weather extra. Yep. I haven't done that in a long time. Vacation Valley. Did you just say snow is a good idea? I thought we were friends. Vacation Valley. How could you say that? Yeah, that's a picture of me. If anybody doesn't know the whole story behind this cup, I'm not that arrogant, I promise. Brad Travis got this for me for Christmas. It says coffee time on the other side, because I used to do coffee time. Now it's weather extra. And he put a picture of me on the back side of it from my Facebook page. A picture of when I was much younger, which is very nice of him to do. It was a very nice gift from Brad and Brenda. So. And it's my coffee mug now. It actually has coffee in it this morning, which is great. Usually it has a soda or it has hot cocoa, but today it's straight up coffee this morning. Vacation Valley saying hi to everybody, which is good. Sunday draw on Weather Extra is very interesting. I was just telling, so Ryan came in today. Ryan's working for Tatiana. And Ryan says to me, he goes, how do these weekend ones go? Like, I'm like, well, you know what? There is no rhyme or reason for it all. It's so random on who comes in on Weather Extras. It really comes down to like what kind of plans you all have for the day, right? Sometimes on Saturday we're crushing it till 9:15, and then sometimes on Saturday I can get done at like 8:40. And then Sundays, sometimes everybody, church services in the morning probably skew the numbers a little bit. But sometimes on Sunday morning, I'm here until like 9:15. And other Sundays, I'm here till like 8:25. I'm on for 5 minutes. It just depends. I'll stay on as long as everybody keeps talking, though. Allison, good morning. Kids will be in the pool all day. Yeah, this defines pool day today. Next couple of days do. And I know that we're getting closer to the end of July, which means school is about to start for many. And you want to squeeze out as much summer as you possibly can, and you're a kid, you are loving this forecast. It is pool day all day. The only thing I will say about it, Allison, is just keep an eye out on the radar. I'm not sure exactly your location in the Tennessee Valley, but if any of these storms pop the next 3 to 4 days, they're going to have some lightning with them. We don't want anybody in the pool if that happens. And even if the storms aren't over the top of you, like way above you like that, they could be around you within like 10, 15 miles. You want to make sure you get out of the pool there. But other than that, definition of pool days the next 4 days. Fishing, pretty good too. Not much breeze unless you have a storm. Could be a little gusty with some storms, but good fishing days coming up. I'm sure the lake in Guntersville, everybody going to be hopping there today with the boats. I already saw a ton of boats on the water in Decatur going out today. A lot of fishing getting done, and a lot of people going to be taking advantage of the summer-like temperatures if you're into that. Some of you tonight, maybe you're going to the Orion and you're going to check out Weird Al Yankovic out there tonight, huh? That brought back memories when we talked about this morning. If you're going to that concert tonight, there's still tickets available last we checked. And you might want to bring a bottled water. Now, I don't know how it works about whether or not you can bring that in or not. I don't work there. But I will say you want to stay hydrated because when you get to the concert, gates open at 6 and the concert starts at 7:30. It is still going to be really, really uncomfortable. And then you start getting your Weird Al Yankovic groove on and you're singing all the songs and you're dancing and you're sweating and all of a sudden you're like dehydrated. You got to drink water. We don't want you to eat it. That's one of his songs, if you don't know. It was the play off of Beat It by Michael Jackson. And he had Lost to Jeopardy. That was the play on Greg Kinn's song. I forget the name of it, though. And then he had King of Suede. That was a play off of the Police song, King of Pain. Weird Al Yankovic, been doing this for a long time, y'all. I mean, since like the mid-'80s, I think, when he had his first release. So if you don't know who Weird Al Yankovic is, go ahead and do a search. He wrote parodies for all these songs, and he became very famous by doing these parodies back in the MTV times. And he's at the Orion tonight, and that was a long-winded story about Weird Al Yankovic and how there's still tickets available to go see him. But he was always fun to watch. His songs were very catchy, too. And the videos were hilarious back in the day. Yeah. Vacation says, I have a celebration concert tonight. You're not going to Weird Al? Come on, Vacation Valerie. She says, good morning, fun times in the pool. Vacation Valerie going to the concert. My concert's in Decatur. Yeah. Yep. Down to Decatur. Beautiful area. Bill Beck says Amish Paradise. Yeah, that's another one. This is a good one. I mean, he was a winner through and through for sure. I mean, when I looked up his first hit today, because I was looking at like all the list of songs because I knew we were talking about Weird Al on air. I'm like laughing. I'm like, oh my gosh, he started back in '84. He released his first song. I mean, literally 41 years ago, right? Yeah. Think about that. How many artists are still doing it after 41 years? I mean, there's a few, of course. All right. Let's go back to more weather. Vacation Valerie says good morning to Bill. Very entertaining, Bill Beck. You always make me laugh, my friend. It's good to talk to you. I feel bad because I started so early. This is usually the time I start, so I feel kind of guilty. I'll pull the graphic up again. For those of you coming in and watching, I see eyeballs. You can talk, you can say hi, you can ask questions. I don't bite. As long as you say nice things to me and don't make me cry, then I'll keep answering. But 48 first alert weather days for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Could have easily added one for today. Could probably take that one away on Wednesday, to be honest with you. 94 with a feel-like temperature of about 102 on Wednesday is no different than what we've had almost all month long. So we could have just had FODs for the whole month. But Wednesday, Wednesday may actually turn out to be a first alert weather day more for some stronger storms in the afternoon. But nonetheless, keep it there. So there's 3 FODs there for you. We call them FODs, first alert weather days. And anytime you see the red boxes, I know a lot of times, many of you, when you see the first alert weather days, you think severe thunderstorms, and I understand, but they also can be used for hot temperatures, really cold temperatures, heavy excessive rainfall, storms that produce heavy rain and wind. There's a lot of different ways weather can have an impact on your life in the Tennessee Valley. So anything that's going to change your daily routine should be an alert day. Some of you aren't going to go outside today. You're going to change your plans because it's too hot. Some of you are going to go see a movie instead of going out to the pool because it's too hot. That changes your plans, right? So it's an impactful day. Weather alerts is what we call it. Vacation Valley, Weird Al is so funny. Loved his videos. That's when videos became a thing. It was. He was big in, MTV, video killed the radio star back in 1979, I think was the first video, but Weird Al Yankovic jumped on the MTV bandwagon back in the 80s, and he was all over it, and his videos were hilarious. That video of the Greg Kihn song, it's Lost on Jeopardy is his version, but I forget the Greg Kihn version, what the name of it was. That video was epic. It was like in a church, and there was like a monster, and I don't know if you remember it, but it was pretty elaborate, That's back when videos were videos, right? It was pretty good stuff. Bill Beck, okay, time to go preach. Have a good Sunday. Bill, you have a good day preaching, my friend. I'm going to preach a little weather here right now. You have a good day. Stay hydrated as I drink my coffee, which is not a way to get hydrated. I have to say, though, I started this new thing where I'm drinking more water now, especially since the beginning of July, and I feel great. Water is wonderful, in case anybody doesn't know that. Dave Luddy says, 104 to 106. Who can tell the difference when you are mowing and sweating to death? You are right. You know what, Bill Beck? David? Sorry, Bill Beck. Dave Luddy, I'm going to put a like to that. Because you know what? I agree. That's what I'm saying about these 48 first alert weather days. They're really, truly, without the excessive heat. Like, the forecast models have backed off. Like, it looked like it could be 100. It don't look like that no more. It looks like more like 96, 97. Still hot, don't get me wrong. But we have had feel like temperatures at 106 to 109 often this month. Like, it's not like any more brutal than it already has been. So if you've made it through the month of July up to this point, you should be okay for the next 3 to 4 days. But it's just a reminder, 48 first alert weather days, that it's going to be a little bit more than usual. And it's also to the point where we're getting to the end of the month that has been a grind when it comes to how hot and humid it's been. Let's go back to the beginning of May. May was a cool month. We had a lot of rain, a lot of clouds. Remember those days? And then June, the first 2 weeks started that way. And then the last 2 weeks, we ramped up the heat. And by the end of the month of June, it got pretty epic. And then once we got into July, we haven't looked back. We just haven't had a break. We're supposed to hit 90 or higher every day in July based on climatological temperatures. But you always, usually, catch, not always, because it didn't happen this month, you usually catch a break and you get a couple of those days where you can go outside and be like, oh, this is not so bad. We didn't have that in July. It's just been constant heat and humidity. And Michelle with 1L was talking to me on Facebook the other day, and she says, I don't know what it is about this July, Jeff, but it has felt like it's been so miserable to me, more so than any other year I've lived in Alabama. And she's been here a long time. And I said to her, I think what it was is I think you just never got a break any day of the month. It's just been persistent heat and humidity. And it never really dialed back. Nights have been really muggy. And it's been one of those months where we just kept doing it over and over and over. It was literally a rinse and repeat month where every day the forecast was fog, hot, storms, miss out on the storms, you get mad that you didn't have rain, and then the next day you would get some rain. And that's the way it is. Very localized stuff. Skylar, what's up? Hi, Jeff. Any severe weather Thursday and Friday? No, it looks mainly just like rain. I would imagine some gusty winds probably you could mix in there, but it doesn't look like anything severe-wise. It just looks like a frontal boundary that gets stuck across the area after it tries to pass by on Wednesday. And when those fronts get stuck, they just kind of linger and just keep the rain in the forecast. It's probably going to be just more rain than anything else, but I left the terminology of storms in the forecast just to cover it, so if there is some thunder, it's not a surprise to anybody. But yeah, it's just rain for the most part. No severe stuff. Vacation Valley, you're going to bake a cake today, huh? For the teachers at Madison Crossroads Elementary, school's fixing to start. Love them, the teachers. Yes. Yeah, this time of year, there's a lot of school drives going on. Vacation Valerie, that's a great segue. You know, anything you can do to appreciate the teachers is fantastic. Their summer comes to an end too. It's not just the students, right? Also, keep in mind as we get into the beginning of August and school starts, I'm beep traffic guy sometimes. Don't forget those school zones, everybody, right around the corner, something to be thinking about. You know, those school zones, they'll blink in yellow lights. They mean slow down to 25. And in the beginning of the new school year, I promise you there will be a heavy police presence at those school zones to make sure you are going 25 miles per hour. And the tickets in a school zone are doubled. So if they write you a ticket for a 35 over 25, it's going to be chunky. So just make sure you keep that in mind as we turn the calendar to August and school starts across the area. School zones are for real. There's a reason why the yellow blinking light happens, and there's a reason why it's 25. Vacation Valley had that nice weather moment Wednesday morning for like 15 minutes. Yeah, there hasn't been any breaks. I mean, if you remember those 15 minutes that vividly, then it's been a rough month, right? So I think a lot of times, you know, if you can catch a break and take the temperatures down just a little bit, it makes a big difference, right? We just never did that in July. It's been constant. It's been constant. Scholar says, that's good. It's crazy how school is starting earlier. Yeah, Scholar, I was a kid. We started school after Labor Day. Got out like the end of June, but started after Labor Day. Now school starts so early. But you get out in May, though. So I don't know. I mean, getting out in May better than getting out in June and starting later. I don't know. I do think it's funny, though, because I heard, that, and I don't know if this is true, but somebody told me, well, they get out in May because they're so worried about the summertime heat and the kids being in school. And I said, but they go back in early August, which is technically the hottest stretch of weather in the summer is usually the third week of July to the second week of August. It's called the dog days of summer for a reason. Woof, woof, woof. But you take the kids out in May, but if you bring them back in the second week of August, you're bringing them back during the hottest part of summer. So I'm not really sure about that, but that's okay. We just want everybody to be safe, that's all. But school does start early, though. That is for sure. I don't know if that's true. I don't know that was the rationale that I was given. But when I went to school back in the day, and dinosaurs roamed the earth, mid to late June was when I got out, and I started the Wednesday after Labor Day. And it was kind of cool because you had July 4th and Labor Day. Now around here, when you get out in May, you got Memorial Day weekend, and then you got July 4th. You don't get the Labor Day weekend. But you still get a day off, though, on Labor Day. So I guess it's a trade-off. Apples and oranges. It's all good. Scholar says, I used to go back in September. Yeah. Good song, too. September, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Okay, now I got that song in my head. But, yeah, I used to go back in September. And, yeah, a lot of us did. When we were, back in the day, we did. Vacation Valerie, gonna get going. A long day ahead. Everyone have an awesome day and be safe. You too, Vacation Valerie. Hey, Jamie. Oh, okay. Now I see why Jeff wasn't seeing me. So for those of you who watched this video on my cross post page for Jeff Desnoyers, I will usually go back and answer the comments that are on there, but I don't see them right now because I'm on the 48 page, and I don't want to open up my own personal account on this computer because I don't have access to this computer on a regular basis. So I am reading comments off the 48 page. If you write and you're like, where are you? Why aren't you talking to me? I'm not ignoring you, I promise. I'm just not on my page, okay? So Jamie had figured that out. And now she's like, oh, I'm here. I appreciate that. 48 pages, good. Jamie's like, Weird Al, another one rides the bus. Oh, yes, I lost on Jeopardy. Oh, yes, Like a Surgeon with Madonna. That was another good one. There's so many. Weird Al has so many hits, it's not even funny. Like, it's crazy how many he has. But, yeah, Vacation Valerie, Jamie's been on, but she was on my page a couple times, so. And I know Douglas Dawson goes to that page, and Al Moniz will go to that page and talk, and sometimes I just don't see the comments until later in the day. I still try to answer back, though. I try to be a good guy. All right. Dodger 10-day, it's been up forever. I'm going to go backwards for a minute. Remember the heat advisory for today? If you like temperatures, that 107 is probably a bit much, but 105. There's your daily planner. Get to 90 by noon, y'all. And then it's going to be like mid-90s in the afternoon. Feels like 105. I think the big headline right now is that it's 8:31 in the morning and it's already 80 degrees outside for parts of the area. Oof. That's kind of gross. Hi, Beverly, watching from Killen. Thank you for watching. Appreciate you being here for Weather Extra. If there's anybody watching, I see a lot of eyeballs on. Feel free to say hi. I don't bite, I promise. Jamie says, bro, I'm aging. You're not aging us. We were just talking about how Weird Al's been around for like 40 plus years, popping out hits left and right. He's got some classics. Not at all. I still listen to Yacht Rock, which has a whole bunch of 70s music on it. Speaking of that and concerts, I do believe that the VBC in September, there's an orchestral, like, yacht rock rendition thing going on. I think it sounds cool. I might try to go. Give it a try. I should drag Matthew with me. So Matthew is like half my age, and he knows all the yacht rock songs from his parents. Like when he'll come into the studio, and he's singing all the yacht rock songs. If you know what yacht rock is, it's like late 70s, early 80s, smooth, top 40 kind of stuff. Michael McDonald's on there. Just some really good classic songs. But anyway, Fleetwood Mac sometimes, Stevie Nicks, Kenny Loggins, not Earth, Wind & Fire, but Crosby, Stills, and Nash. I'm trying to think of other ones. But anyway, another cool concert idea, VBC, September. That would be awesome. I saw a Queen tribute, actually, at the VBC like last month, and it was really good, too. Vicky says, it seems like a lot of kids do not get a lot of time like we did back early in the summer. Everyone be safe in the heat. Vicky, that's a great observation. I feel like I had more time in the summer too. I feel like it's like tighter now. I feel like the kids don't have as much time. I feel like school year's longer. And I don't know. I mean, I haven't been to school in like 35 years, so I'm not really sure about that. But yeah, it's a good point. Seems like the summer's quick, right? Jamie says, it's gross and sticky here again. I'll be at my desk in my air conditioner catching up on work. Well, I'll tell you this is much of the U.S. right now. Like New England, Deep South, like they keep calling it this big heat dome. And yeah, it's been persistent for a long period of time. And, you know, last I checked, it's still summer and it's supposed to be that way, right? But, you know, every year, when it gets to the point where you get to July and August and you're still talking about a lot of heat and humidity, it makes national news. And sometimes it can be excessive. I mean, for us, I feel like excessive humidity here in the Tennessee Valley, we got to be like 110 or higher. And then I think it's really gross. But like a 103 to 107 heat index value is pretty much where it's supposed to be this time of year. It's kind of what you expect. Doesn't make it any better, don't get me wrong, but it's not like newsworthy. Yeah, it's hot. Summer. It's supposed to be. Christopher Cross, another good one, Jamie says. Yeah, Christopher Cross. Sailing, one of my favorite songs of all time. Christopher Cross and Sailing. Such a good song. And he has another song that I really like too. I can't think of the name of it right now, but it has like this noise in it that I can do with my tongue, and it's really weird. And I do it the whole song, and people will hear me singing or doing that noise during the song. They're like, could you stop? Because it's really annoying. He's got some good hits. You know, Jamie, you know what I've been listening to lately though? I found this like classic rock station on iHeart. Not on iHeart, iTunes. And I've been really into like listening to old Zeppelin lately. Like I'm getting old. Like who am I? Zeppelin, I'm a Foreigner, and I've been listening to like a local station here. I won't give the name of it. And the classic rock, and I've been listening to that too. And I don't know. I've turned the corner age-wise. I'm starting to go back to old school stuff. Sirius XM and Yacht Rock. Jeff is a heavy. Yeah, it's funny. I got rid of my satellite radio. I don't drive enough. I have a 5-minute drive to work now. I'm in my truck for other reasons, but not for my drive to TV. So, yeah. Ride Like the Wind. That's a good song, too. Christopher Cross has had some big-time hits. He's classic. If you are on Twitter and follow him and you comment on his stuff, he will respond back to you almost every time. He's a good guy. He's got a lot of followers, too. Christopher Cross. Ride Like the Wind. Not going to ride like the wind today weather-wise. Not much wind to take away the heat. Not going to cut through. It's just going to be a warm little 5-mile-per-hour wind, if anything. There's your temperatures for today. That isolated storm, if we do have one, would probably favor northwest Alabama. There's your heat index value, once again, around 105. 107 might be a bit much, but we'll play the game. And there's your heat advisory for the counties in orange. Again, if you're in Jackson or DeKalb County, so many of you that are on the western side of Jackson or DeKalb County write me in the morning. How am I not in the advisory? Just not quite at the criteria of 105, but you'll be really close and it'll be really warm for you. Most counties will probably have another alert tomorrow, so I imagine heat advisories for Monday and Tuesday will continue. And I don't know how the National Weather Service is going to do it. They do a great job there, a lot better than I do, I'm sure, about issuing any kind of advisory. So they will let you know. They might just issue it tonight and extend the heat advisory all the way through Tuesday. I don't know how they're going to do it. They might even include Wednesday as well. But nonetheless, look for some kind of heat advisory. I don't think we'll go excessive heat warning for the area. I don't think so. That's usually a criteria of 110 or higher, and none of the forecast models spitting that out anymore. They were last week, but this week, not so much. They've really backed off on the overall temperature for the week ahead. Now, like I said, 96, 97, 98 is still ridiculously hot. And a feel-like temperature of 106 to 109 is still ridiculously hot. But it's not like excessive heat criteria of 110. We'll see how it plays out. It's going to be interesting. And that Wednesday forecast is so tricky. And I'd like to get out of having to do it, but I got to fill in for Brad on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So I gotta own up to it and step my game up a little bit. Do the best I can. Yeah, a good playlist, Jamie, no matter where you get it from, is money for sure. So there's your 3-day forecast with your 48 first alert weather days. Again, any isolated storm Monday and Tuesday could provide some free relief from the heat. Take it and run with it, because if you don't have a storm, you're baking, literally. Feel like temperatures I put on the graphic. Wednesday, the tricky part of the forecast is figuring out the high temperature, because when those storms pop will play a big part in what we get to. If they pop early in the morning, we're never going to get to 94. If they pop later in the day, we could easily get to 94 and maybe even 95 or 96. But the one thing that this forecast does not call for is any days that will reach 100 now. We pulled that back. So mid to upper 90s. Feel like temperatures over 100, but the actual air temperature hitting 100, probably not. It'll be, at first I thought it was going to be really close on Tuesday, but I feel like 97 works. Like I said. Yeah, that's one thing I cannot say. Geez. Okay, I'm gonna go. I got to go. I got some things to do. Jada was on last night. She did a fantastic job, as always. And she will be back in tonight with the very latest on the forecast. She'll be talking 48 first alert weather days. She'll be talking heat advisories, how hot it's going to be, and how to take necessary precautions to be safe. And then Eric Burke will be back here tomorrow morning, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed at 4:30. And then I'm actually going to be filling in for Brad Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday nights. And we'll keep you covered. Got the forecast for the end of the month of July as we flip the calendar into August. And for those of you who are not a big fan of summer-like heat, fall season's around the corner. I can hear it knocking. Yep, almost here. Well, just a little over a month away from Labor Day. Of course, around here in the Tennessee Valley, fall doesn't arrive until November 1st. But still, nonetheless, there is hope. Light at the end of the tunnel for those of you tired of the heat and humidity. Everybody have a fantastic Sunday. We'll talk soon.